The word silk spells magic. It is synonymous with beauty, luxury, and comfort. The art of silk making was invented by a Chinese queen by name Si Ling Shi 2000 years ago. Later, silk spread across the world through the famous Silk Road. Silk is produced by a tiny creature, an insect called silkworm. The mulberry silkworm Bombyx mori got that name from its food plant mulberry. Silkworm, like all insects, has 4 distinct stages in its life cycle. They are egg, larva, pupa, and adult moth. Silkworm is a monophagous insect. That is, it has only one food. That is the leaf of mulberry. Mulberry or morus is a tree. This is the flower of mulberry. It also produces sweet and nutritious berries which all of us like. The cultivation of mulberry and rearing of silkworm is called sericulture. Mulberry is cultivated very systematically for this purpose by farmers. Stem cuttings are planted carefully in prepared soils. Mulberry grow very fast. Here is the mother moth preparing to lay eggs. A moth can lay 350 to 450 eggs. Eggs hatch after 10 days. The hatchlings are so tiny they are called ants. This is the magnified image of an ant. The young larvae are very hungry. They feed on mulberry leaves and grow very fast. Farmers make specialized silkworm rearing houses like this one for growing silkworms. Inside these houses, wooden racks are placed on which they prepare a bed for the worms. Worms spend 28 days feeding and growing. During this period, they pass through 5 stages called instars. At the end of each instar, they shed their skin. This is a picture of a molting worm. At the end of 28 days of feeding, the worms get ready to spinning cocoons. These are transferred to a specialized equipment called mountage for this purpose. It takes 48 hours for a worm to spin a cocoon around itself. After spinning the cocoon, the larva becomes a pupa and sleeps for 10 days. During this sleep, it changes itself into an adult moth. This process is called metamorphosis. On the 10th day, the adult moth emerges by penetrating the cocoon shelf. Its saliva helps in dissolving the thick shell and makes it unusable. If we permit the moth to emerge, we don't get the silk, so we kill the pupa before it emerges. Farmers sell their cocoon in cocoon markets like this one. Reelers purchase cocoon from the farmers to reel out silk. Reeling is a highly skilled job. Cocoons are boiled in water to loosen the silk. Then the silk yarn is reeled out using reeling machines. The silk is bundled and sold to weavers for making silk cloth. The leftover pupa is a delicacy in many countries. The silk yarn is then woven in handloom or power looms into beautiful fabric. Gold-plated silk yarn is called zari, which is used for decorating gilt work of saris, fabrics, etc. Thousands of cocoons are needed to make a sari. Next time you see a silk sari, remember the tiny silkworm and its sad story. To understand the importance of mulberry in silkworm rearing, we interviewed a professor of sericulture, Vijendra sir, who briefed us with the importance of mulberry. Here is his
Sericulture
interview.
is an agro-based industry wherein you have three facets: agriculture, sericulture and industrial aspect. Agriculture aspect of sericulture thinks about raising of mulberry, and then sericulture, silkworm rearing, and industrial aspect is silk reeling. World Bank has found these following main points to select this as one of the major tool for improvement of developing countries. There's one of which one is reversal flow of income, where the income flows from rich to poor. There is enormous scope for byproduct utilization, where starting from mulberry to reeling, you can have a scope for recycling of byproduct by value addition, and you can make money. This employment to unemployed people as well as to underemployed women folk. That's how the developing countries can use this as one of the important tools. Another important thing, sericulture can also be integrated easily with other agricultural crops. In addition to this, sericulture can be taken up in non-arable lands as a tree, wherein the fruits of this can definitely be a very good source for the development of wildlife, birds and other wildlife creatures. It can also help in development of watershed programs. One another important feature of sericulture is to get higher income with little investment. That's one important thing, and quicker returns in a shorter duration. Within 25 days one can reap money, and there is a stabilized market in India because of the regulated cocoon marketing system. Cocoon price cannot be go below 100 rupees because of the more stabilized conditions of mulberry as well as silkworm rearing technologies. People and the poorest of poor can also take up sericulture, because landless people can also take up sericulture by leasing the mulberry garden and also by renting a house, so they can pay rent and can take up sericulture. The sericulture seems to be the most lucrative and very profitable enterprise among all agri-horti ecosystems. So sericulture plays a most important role.